might be wondering, what is the place of play in the holistic child development? Ensure that you watch this video to the end. Hi guys, I hope you're all keeping well and safe. Welcome to Early Years Matters TV. On today's episode of Early Years Matters TV, I am going to be talking about the place of play in the holistic child development. Yes, today's discussion is going to be all about the place of play in the overall development of the child. I've seen people ask the question, why do you need for play? Why do young children have to play? There are lots of benefits related to when young children play, especially in times of their overall development, holistic development. In the area of early childhood, there's something that we call holistic development. What is holistic development? It's taking the overall approach to child development, is looking or focusing on the overall development of the child. Okay, I've done a series of videos in relation to holistic development. I'm going to leave the link down below. If you're wondering what is holistic development, you could check this video out. Okay, so back to the topic that we are discussing today, the place of play in the overall development of the child. Okay, so when young children play, what do these children benefit from playing? Okay, so there are lots of benefits in relation to when young children play. Okay, so I'm going to break this down in relation to the holistic development. So let's start looking at the physical development. Okay, when young children play, what do they gain in terms of their physical development? Okay, so when young children engage in play in terms of their physical development, it strengthens their fine motor skills, which has to do with children using their fingertips. Okay, so for instance, if a child is writing, a child is coloring, a child is painting, what is the child using? The child is using their fingertips to engage in this type of play. Okay, so and when young children engage in this type of play, it's going to strengthen their fingertips. Okay, so now let's look at the gross motor skills, which has to do with the whole body of the child. So for instance, when a child is running, when a child is jumping, they are using their whole body, okay? And what did they stand to gain is going to help them in relation to keeping fit. As you all know, obesity is really rampant in the area of early childhood, okay? So in relation to combating obesity, when young children engage in running and jumping, skipping, it's going to help them to keep fit, okay? So I know sometimes it's hard, it's difficult to get young children to engage in this type of play. This is where your role as the adult comes in. You have to make it fun, okay? So young children engage in play in terms of their physical development. That's what they tend to gain, okay? So now let's look at the intellectual, the brain. Okay, for instance, if you as the adult, okay, you're reading to the child, okay, so it's going to help them in terms of their brain formation, okay, so it's going to help in terms of prompting their curiosity. They ask questions. You as the adult, you ask them questions back, and when you ask them questions, when young children want to reply you back, it has to do with using of their brain, okay, so they have to think. It has to do with the children processing things using their brain. So you could see that play also benefits in terms of intellectual development. Now let's look at language. Okay, when you're engaging in discussions with a child, you're talking to the child, it's going to help the child to use words. It's also going to help the child to learn some new words from you as the adult, okay? You need to understand that children learn, they pick up things from their environment. So in relation to language development, when you as the adult, you're engaging in conversation with a child, you're reading stories, you're doing other things, it's going to help the child to pick up words and also learn words. So you could see play also helps in terms of the language development. Now let's look at emotional development. When you're playing with a child, the child is smiling, the child is laughing, or sometimes the child is crying as well. It helps in terms of the child expressing their feelings. Emotional development. So you could also see that through play as well, children could express their feelings. Okay, so now let's talk about the social development. When young children are playing with you as the adult, they are playing with their peers, they learn to make friends, friendship. Social development, okay, so they learn to interact with people around them. Okay, so now let's talk about the cultural aspect. Okay, so when you as the adult, you're talking to the child about diversity, you're talking to the child about different things going on in other countries, you're doing this through play. For instance, maybe you're reading a story about a different culture, you're helping the children to learn about different culture, and this is where diversity comes in. So you could see that play supports the overall development of the child in terms of physical, intellectual, language, emotional, social, the cultural and also the spiritual aspects of the child, the inner being of the child. Okay, so like in terms of the spiritual, what makes the child, you see young children, they have different things going through their mind in relation to, they want to find out about their identity, who they are. Okay, so we should not also shy away from this as well. This has to do with the spiritual being of the child in terms of the where the child is coming from, the religion, talking about what makes the child, the inner being of the child. Okay, so it's also important as well that through play we could be able to achieve all this. Okay, so in relation to early childhood, okay, children learn through play. It is difficult in early childhood for you to sit a child down and you want to teach a child about a culture. Okay, you want to teach a young child, let's say a 3-year-old child. You're not going to see the 3-year-old child and say, oh, this is the way it's being done in Canada, this is the way it's being done in Africa, this is the way it's being done in America, this is what they do. You have to do this through play. And how can you do this through play? You read a story about the different countries. It's going to motivate the child. They are young children, they want to sit down, they want to listen to stories. Okay, so when I highlighted the benefits of play, how play supports the overall development of the child, I'm going to encourage you as the adult, whether you're the parent, you're the guardian, or teachers of young children from birth to 8, that you should use play to promote the overall development of the child. In relation to when you want to use play, do not just focus on one aspect of the child. Focus on how you could be able to promote the overall development of the child. If you want more of this on this channel, what do you have to do? Subscribe for more. And until I come your way next time, stay safe and mind yourselves for now. Bye.